Hey guys, what's up? This is Matthew Davis, the movie lover here. Even though I'm 15 years old and I watch adult movies, I love horror, and I swear a lot, doesn't mean that there are shows from my childhood. Just to prove to you guys that I'm not a little kid show hater, I really enjoyed some shows from my childhood, and these are my top 10 favorites. Just like my top 10 worst little kid shows, these are my top 10 favorite childhood shows. So let's begin. Number 10 is Little Bill. Yeah, guys, I remembered watching this back then. Not a whole lot, pretty much. That's the reason why it's at number 10, but I just remember really enjoying the show as a kid. It didn't annoy me, I just liked the whole imagination thing that Little Bill has, and, I just remembered as a kid always watching it, and pretty much, yeah, it makes my number 10 spot, so way to go, Little Bill. Way to go. Number 9, Little Bear. So pretty much, yeah. This was one of my favorite Nick Jr. shows back then. I remembered watching it back then. I remember watching a lot of the episodes. I remembered Halloween episode, and it's pretty much, yeah, pretty much number 9 is Little Bear. Excuse me. So yeah, what does that tell you there? Okay, so number 8 is VeggieTales. I remembered I was obsessed with VeggieTales back then. I remember singing along with the songs. I saw both of the VeggieTales movies in the theaters. That's right, Jonah VeggieTales movie, and the Pirates Who Don't Do Anything movie. I remembered just being obsessed with this show as a little kid, and I still enjoy this show and I still remember it from my childhood. All right, so okay, number 7 is Bear and the Big Blue House. That's right, from Jim Henson. That's right. Pretty much one of Jim Henson's better shows, unlike Sid the Science Kid. But this was definitely, I remembered a lot from the show. Learning from it, and it wasn't annoying at all. I was not annoyed a single bit about the show. Like, I really remember watching it a lot as a kid, and I still remember it today. Number 6, Arthur. Yeah, guys, this was definitely going to be on my list, okay? I remembered everything about the show. I remembered the characters. I remember in my school, we used to watch Arthur, in a Christmas special. We watched the Arthur Christmas special during Christmas, and I just really enjoyed Arthur a lot as a kid. I'm not sure how old I was, but I was really little when I started watching the show. So yeah. Alright. Number 5 is Franklin the Turtle. That's right. You know what? This show actually doesn't annoy me at all. There's not a single thing that I can find annoying about this show. It isn't like one of those weird, crazy kid shows, but it's definitely from my childhood. I remember watching back then, and I still remember watching it back then as a kid. So pretty much, yeah. All right. So number 4, Blue's Clues. Oh yeah, I definitely remember this. I remember having the Notebook. I remember having a blue plush. I had Blue's Clues like everything. I was obsessed with this show back then as a kid. Yeah, just like VeggieTales, I was obsessed with this as well. Like, I remember a whole lot from this show, watching every single episode that came out. Like, I just really remember watching this show a lot as a kid, and I still remember it today. Alright, number 3, Thomas the Tank Engine, or Thomas and Friends. Yeah, I certainly do remember a lot from the show. Like, I remember having a ginormous playset of Thomas toys. Out of all the little kid shows that I watched back then, this was definitely the one that I was the most obsessed with. But yeah, I certainly do miss the old Thomas. The new Thomas, meh. But yeah, number 3 is Thomas and Friends. Okay. Alright, number 2 is Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Definitely a childhood classic right here. Nothing annoying. It's just about Mr. Rogers, showing his stuff around. And, well, I can't really explain it that much since it's been a long time since I've seen the show. All that I know is This is definitely a childhood classic right here, remembering back then, and it's definitely going at my number 2 spot. Alright, so yeah, and the number 1 show that I remember from my childhood back then is none other than Sesame Street. Yeah, guys, I remember this was one of the very first shows I've ever watched. Like, when I was in preschool, I remember watching this show a lot, learning the ABCs and all that. And I remembered all the characters. I remember just watching this show all the time. And I just had to put this at my number 1 spot, pretty much. So my number 1 favorite childhood show is definitely Sesame Street. So, okay, anyways, tell me, what are your favorite shows from your childhood? Leave a comment down below. So, that's all I like to say. See you guys later. Word out.